Hi, Helen from crystalsandcrochet.com here, and welcome to part 2 of the Sacred Space Crochet Along. In this part we're going to start here and work through making 12 repetitions altogether, so there's one repeat there. If you want to see the photos of the full blanket, then please go to my website to be able to see the entire round. On the video it's very difficult to show it, so that's why I'm just showing the repeat that we're going to make here. Okay, hope you have fun. Okay, so round 31, nice simple round, all back post doubles, so just start in any stitch with a standing back post double crochet, and then you are going to back post double crochet in the next 251 stitches. So if you followed my advice at the end of part 1 in round 30, you will have made sure that your stitch count is absolutely right. So all you need to do is make sure that you do a back post double crochet in each and every stitch. Okay, again making sure that when you make your stitches around the post that you come below that third loop, so that you're right around the post and folding the top of those stitches over. Okay, so all the way round, and then join to that standing back post double with a slip stitch. Okay, round 32 we are going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet into that same stitch, and then our repeat is to double crochet in the next 6 stitches and then 2 in the next one. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, oops, and then 2. Okay, and you're going to do that 36 times in total. Okay, so double crochet in 6, 2 double crochet in the next one, all the way round. So you'll make the last double crochet here because you've already done the 2 that will end that repeat. Join to the top of the chain 3, fasten off and secure your ends. Before we start round 33, you need to make sure that you place your stitch markers in the right place, and you're going to need 12 this time. Okay, so here in round 26, this is round 26 where we got the picot, the 3 single crochets that we made into that picot, the middle one you want to line up from that and come up and place a stitch marker in that stitch. Okay, so I just find using a ruler is the best way. As you work the next rounds, what you want is for your centre to sit square so that it doesn't twist off to one side. Okay, so it's really important that we get these stitch markers in the right place. Okay, so from the centre of those singles and just come straight up. So you could either go either of those two stitches. Okay, one stitch either side is not going to make a massive difference, but it does need to be in line. So place your first one there, and then you're going to count round 24 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Stitch marker in there, okay? And keep going all the way round until you have got 12 stitch markers. Okay, so this is my first stitch marker, but you can actually start before any marker. 7th stitch before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to join with a back post single around that 7th stitch before the marker. Oh, sorry, it is before your first marker. So that was my first one, so 7th stitch before that marker. And you need to leave your stitch markers in there and work a back post single crochet around each stitch. So as you work around, sorry, I'm a little bit too close, let me zoom out a weeny bit. Oops, wrong way. That's it. So as you work around and you get to one of your markers, all that will happen is you'll go around the post and the marker will pop forward to stay in those top loops. Okay, so back post single crochet, and the pattern says around the next 287 stitches, so you will have 288 back post singles altogether. When you come all the way back round to the beginning, join to this standing back post single with a slip stitch, and that will be round 33 finished. Round 34, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in that same stitch that you joined to. And then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Three. Okay, and now we start our repeat. So we're going to skip 3 stitches, and then in the next stitch, which will be the back post single that we made into this marked stitch, so 1, 2, 3 to skip, into this one, we're going to make a 2 treble cluster, chain 1 4 times, and then another 2 treble cluster. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 into that one. So 1 partial treble, second partial treble, chain 1. I'm going to do that 4 times. oops, yarn, so that's 2, three, and that's number 4. Okay, and the 4th chain 1, and then another 2 treble cluster. So we've got 5 2 treble clusters and 4 chain 1 spaces. Skip the next 3, so make sure that you count that first one after the stitch there. It could be hidden. 1 2 3, and then single crochet in the next 17 stitches, and you're going to repeat that 12 times. So each cluster group that you make will fall into a marked stitch. Okay, let's see where we're at. 2 4 6 8 10 12 13 14 15 16 and 17. Okay, so then we've got 3 to skip, and that's our next stitch made into the marked stitch, which will give us our next cluster group. Okay, so go ahead and work all the way round, and then as you come back to the beginning here, join to that first single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. Round 35, we're going to join with a standing single crochet in the 5th stitch before any cluster group. So 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that's the 5th one before. Let me zoom out a weeny bit. Oops, wrong way, sorry. There we go. Okay, and then, oh, sorry about the rain. If you can hear it, it's throwing it down again. And we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. Then going to skip the next 2 stitches and make 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So that's the last single before the cluster group. We're going to make 2 double crochet in that stitch. Okay, okie doke. Right, we've now got a little mini repeat to do of a front post double around our next stitch, which is the cluster, and then 2 double crochet in the chain 1 space. Okay, and we're going to do that 4 times. So front post and then 2 double in the chain 1 space. That's 2, 3 and 4 times. And we're then going to front post double around that last cluster, and then make 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches and then single crochet in 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, which leaves us 3 single crochets left there. So for our next repeat we're going to skip 2 and then 2 double crochet into that first one. Okay, so there's our repeat. So you're going to go ahead and do that 12 times in total. Omit the last 2 single crochet because we've already made them. So once you come all the way round, join to that first standing single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. Round 36 we're going to join with a standing single crochet in the last single of any repeat. So that's our last single there, just before those first 2 double crochets in there. Okay, we are then going to skip the next 2 stitches and make 7 double crochet in the next stitch, which is that first front post double. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Skip the next 2 stitches, so that's our 2 doubles there, and single crochet in the next one. So again that's the front post, and we're going to repeat that 3 times. So our next shell is going to come into the next front post double, then a single, then another shell, and then our last single will come into the first single here. Okay, so let's just do that quickly. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Oops, skip 2, single in the next front post, skip 2, 7 doubles in the next one, that's the last front post double. 4, 5, 6 and 7. Skip 2 and single crochet in there. Okay, so we've repeated that 3 times. Okay, 7 double crochet, skip 2, single crochet, skip 2, etc., all the way round. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 10 stitches. So you're going to have 11 single crochet all together working across this section between our shells. Okay, so that's our repeat. So we skip 2 and then we're going to work only into the front post doubles. 7 double crochet, skip 2, single crochet 3 times. So the last single crochet of the repeat is this first one here, and we've then got 10 single crochet to make after that. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that 12 times, coming round to join to this standing single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. Round 37, at the beginning there's a hint that says to work the back loop single crochets through the back loop and the third loop to maintain stability. So I will show you how to do that when we get there. But we join with a standing single crochet in the 6th single crochet of any repeat, and that's of these 11 here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go in there with a single crochet, and we are then going to single crochet in the next stitch as well. Okay, so we've got 2 there, so we've got 4 single crochets left before this first shell. So we're going to chain 1, skip the next 3 stitches, and then in the next stitch, which is that last single crochet, we're going to make a V-stitch. So a V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in the same stitch, so it forms a V. Okay. Okay, and that's the beginning of another little mini repeat. So we are going to chain 2 and back loop single in the 4th double of the next shell. So it's the middle one, the 4th one. So to make sure that you pick up the 3rd loop, put your hook down through the front loop and then come down and push through between the stitches, which will pick up the back loop and that 3rd loop. Okay, and basically it just means that it doesn't stretch the top loop, whereas if you work just into the back loop it will pull up and stretch. Okay, so by catching the 3rd loop as well, you stop that stretching. Okay, chain 2, V-stitch in the next single crochet, so double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 2, and back loop single in the 4th double of the next shell, chain 2, V-stitch in the next single, chain 2, back loop single in the 4th double of the next shell, chain 2, V-stitch in the next single, so that's the first one of those 11 at the bottom, chain 1, skip the next 3 stitches and single crochet in the next 3. Oops. Okay, so there's our repeat. So we're going to chain 1, skip 3 stitches, V-stitch in the next single, chain 2, back loop single into the 4th double of the shell, chain 2. Okay, so repeat that around and then chain 1, skip 3 and single crochet in 3. Okay, so go ahead and do that 12 times in total, and then join to that standing single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. Round 38 we are going to join with a standing single crochet in the single crochet before the first V-stitch. So it's this one here, so the last of these 3. In we go. Okay. Okay, we're then going to make 7 double crochet in the next V-stitch. So when you're working into a V-stitch, you work into the chain 1 space. The 2 double crochets that make up the sides of the V-stitch, don't count those in anything where you're asked to skip stitches or anything like that. You only work into this chain space. Okay, so 7 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there we go with number 7. Okay, so 7 double crochet in there, and then we're going to single crochet in the next back loop single. Okay, and we are going to repeat that 3 times. So that's the first one, and then another 7, and single crochet in the back loop single. Okay, so that's 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and do one more and I'll catch up with you then. Okay, so I've done that 3 times now, and then 7 double crochet in that last V-stitch. That's 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, and then we are going to single crochet in the next 3 single crochet. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so that's our repeat. So we're only working in the V-stitches, the back loop singles, and then these 3 singles in between our big shells. Okay, so go ahead and do that 12 times in total, and make sure that you've got 7 double crochet in each of your shells, and you've then got 3 single crochets that are worked into the back loop singles and 3 that are worked in here. and I will see you for the next round. Moving on to round 39, we're going to join with a standing back loop single in the 4th double of the last shell of any repeat. Okay, so again the 4th one is going to be the centre one, and again make that back loop by coming down with the front loop, push back, and make sure you pick up both the back loop and the 3rd loop, and that will stop your stitches from stretching up. Okay, so here is our repeat. We're going to chain 1, 2 treble in the next single, that's 1 and 2, and then 1 treble in the next single, and then 2 treble in the next one. Okay, so you've got 2, 1 and 2. We are then going to chain 1 and back loop single in the 4th stitch of the next shell. Chain 3, popcorn in the next stitch. So for a popcorn we're going to make 5 double crochets all into that same stitch. Oops. Right, let me just zoom in a weeny bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now to make the popcorn is pull that loop up, go into our first stitch under the 2 top loops, put the hook back into that loop, pull down on your yarn, and then what I do is I push with my finger into the back of the stitch and pull forward with my thumb, and then pull through. Sorry, I went out of focus, it's because I'm zoomed in. Let me move up a weeny bit. There we go. Okay, so push forward, pull, come through, and then chain 1 to seal your popcorn. Okay, now that chain 1 that you've just made to close that popcorn doesn't count in any further chains that you're asked to make. Just work back out again and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, chain 3. Okay, so that's a little repeat that we're going to do. The back loop single, chain 3, popcorn, chain 3. And we're going to do that 3 times. Okay, so back loop, 1, 2, 3, popcorn, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Join it together. Oops, nearly lost my loop then. Join it together, chain 1 to close, and then chain 3 for the pattern. Some designers don't close a popcorn with a chain 1 and some do. So always make sure that you check in the special stitches section of any pattern exactly what the designer is asking you to do, but also whenever there are chain spaces after a popcorn, you never count that closing chain 1 as part of what you're then asked to make for a pattern anywhere. Okay, pull through, chain 1, that's the popcorn done. Then chain 3 for the pattern. Back loop single in there. Okay, so we up to that chain 3 was 3 repeats, and we've then back loop single in the 4th double of the next shell, and that is the end of our repeat. Okay, now it will curl forward, okay, don't worry about that. After we do the next couple of rounds, this will all sit nice and flat because we're going to make quite a lot of increases over the next couple of rounds. Okay, remember here you've got a chain 1 space each side of those 5 treble. Carry on all the way round until you get to this standing back loop single. Join there, fasten off and secure your ends. Round 40. We are going to join with a standing front post double around the last popcorn of any repeat. Okay, so this is the last one before our trebles. And a front post double is what we're going to make around that stitch. Okay, then we begin our repeat. So we're going to make 3 double crochet in the next chain 3 space. Three, and then we're going to double crochet in the next stitch, which is our back loop single, double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then back loop double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, so that's in these 5 treble, and again work through the back loop and the 3rd loop. Okay, pushing down through the stitch to pick up both of those loops. And that's 3, 4 and 5. Double crochet in the next chain 1 space, double crochet in the next stitch, 3 double crochet in the next chain 3 space, front post double around the next stitch. Okay, so from this chain 3 space here we've worked double crochets, back loop ones, normal ones, front post one, all the way across between those 2 popcorns. Okay, now we are going to work half double crochets, so 3 in the next chain 3 space, half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 3 single crochet in oops, if I can get the yarn around my hook, in the next chain 3 space, and then front post single around that central popcorn. Okay, and then we're going to mirror that back down the other side. So 3 single crochet in the next chain 3 space, half double in the next stitch, 3 half double in the next chain 3 space, and then front post double around that last popcorn. Okay, so that's our repeat. So you're going to work across 3 double crochet in the chain 3 spaces, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 spaces, 1 double crochet in each of those stitches, 5 back loop doubles here, front post double on the first and last popcorns, then half doubles in the chain 3 space and in those stitches, and then single crochets in those top 2 chain 3 spaces and a front post single around that one. Okay, so that's your repeat. So fairly simple, just work that all the way round, so 12 times, and then when you come back to the standing front post double, join there with a slip stitch. Okay, moving on to round 41. This is a really simple round. We're going to chain 1, half double crochet in that same stitch, and then you are going to half double crochet in the next 383 stitches. So it's literally every stitch around. If you want to make it easier to double check your stitch count, then just sort of place a marker every sort of almost every repeat. So if you place one at the last level with the last popcorn, so with that first stitch you've made there, and one in before this popcorn, so start with this as stitch 1 and count your way round. You may find it easier to just double check, but you should have 384 double crochet in total when you finish this round. Okay, so just work all the way around back to that first half double crochet, join there, fasten off and secure your ends. Round 42. Okay, it sounds a little bit complicated where we're going to start, but it's not really. Okay, so we're going to join with a standing single crochet in the half double made into the double in the chain 1 space before the treble group. Okay, so this is the chain 1 space before the double group, before the treble group. That's the double crochet, and that's the half double that was made into that double. Okay, so make sure, let me just zoom right in so you can see. Okay, so that's the double made into the chain 1 space, and that is the half double made into that stitch. So that's where we're going to join. If I can get my yarn straight on my hook, that is the stitch that we are going to join into. No, it's not, sorry, went over one too far. That one there. Okay, so the half double made into the double in the chain 1 space, join there with that standing single crochet. Okay, let me zoom back out or we'll never see anything. Okay, and we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, right, so we're going to work in front of these 2 rounds, round 41 and 40, and down into round 39, and we're going to make a front post double treble 5 together over those 5 treble there. Okay, so a double treble is yarn over 3 times. So we go round the first treble, and then we're going to pull through 2 loops 3 times. Okay, so we've now got 2 loops on a hook. Round 3 times, around the next treble, and 1, 2, 3. So now we've got 3 loops on our hook, and then around the next treble, 4 loops on our hook, around the next one, that's 5 loops on our hook, and around the 5th treble, okay, so we've got 6 loops on our hook, so we are going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. Okay, that is our front post double treble 5 together. Right, we're going to skip the next stitch. Okay, so there's the stitch that we made that last single crochet into. We're going to skip this next stitch and then come into the next one. So make sure that you've just got 1 stitch skip there, and we are going to single crochet in 31 stitches. Okay, so basically this round is very simple. It's just making sure that you skip the correct stitch behind the front post double treble 5 together, to make sure that it sits straight there. Okay, and then you're going to single crochet all the way round. I'll just whiz round and show you this again. Okay, so that's 31 single crochet. So just as a handy hint, if I zoom right in, oops, okay, so here's our first treble, and that's the back loop stitch that's made in there, and that one. So this last single crochet is made above the second treble. Okay, so just as a little sort of hint to make sure that you are getting things correct and making sure that you are skipping that correct stitch behind there. It's just a little way for you to work out. Here's our second treble, the double made, the back loop double made into that, and the half double made into that. That's where your 31st single crochet will fall. Okay, so again with your front post double treble 5 together, I'll just zoom out a bit so that you can see. Yarn over 3 times, around the post of the treble from round 39, and then through 2 loops 3 times. So you're making partial front post double trebles, and then once you've done all 5, oops, you're going to yarn over and bring them all together like that. Skip that next stitch and then single crochet in the next 31. Okay, so repeat that 12 times, working all the way round, and once you come to that standing single crochet that we made at the beginning here, join to that, fasten off, secure your ends. Okay, round 43, we're going to join with a standing single crochet in the 5th stitch before any front post double treble 5 together. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in there, okay, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so that leaves 1 single crochet before the front post double treble 5 together. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Okay, we're going to skip that first stitch, front post single around the 5 together, so make sure that you go right under all of those stitches and front post single. We're then going to skip the next stitch, which is this one that's almost hidden. Let me zoom in so you can see. Okay, that one there is almost hidden, so make sure that you don't skip 2, okay, just that one. And we're then going to single crochet in 29 stitches. So that's basically going to take us all the way across um, 3, 4, 26, 27, 28 and 29. Okay, so you're going to skip the stitch before and the stitch after your 5 together and single crochet in the other 29. Okay, and then it's a front post single crochet around the 5 together, and zoom way in there. Make sure you put your hook underneath all of those stitches to make that front post single. Okay, so 12 times all the way round, and then join to your standing single crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, round 44, we are going to chain 1 and single crochet in that same stitch, and we're then going to skip the next 3 stitches, and in the next stitch, which is our front post single, we are going to 3 treble cluster, chain 3 twice, and then make a third 3 treble cluster all into that same stitch. Now when you're making groups where you've got to skip 3 and you're going to stretch quite a bit here, I fold my work over so that I'm bringing this last stitch as close to the new one as I possibly can. Okay, so a 3 treble cluster, we yarn over twice, pull up a loop and through 2 loops twice. Okay, and we're going to do that 3 times. So we've got 3 partial trebles, which gives us 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through, chain 3, and then again that's 1, 2 and 3. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to make that third 3 treble cluster all into that same stitch. And 3. Yarn over and through all 4 loops. Okay, so we've got 3 treble cluster, chain 3, once, twice, and then a 3 treble cluster. Again, this stitch is being hidden by this last cluster, so don't make the mistake of skipping an extra stitch here, because we need to skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to single crochet in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to do that twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next 7. Okay, so we've got 3 lots of 7 single crochet with an increase where we've done the 2 single crochet. We've got 2 of those. 4, 5, 6 and 7, which will leave us 3 single crochet there that are not worked before we go into the next 3 treble cluster group in that front post single. Okay, so that's our repeat from the 3 treble cluster, chain 3 twice, and 3 treble cluster all in the same stitch, skip 3, and then you're going to do 7 single, 2 in 1 stitch twice, and then 7 single. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that 12 times altogether, and when you come back to this last single crochet at the beginning here, join, fasten off and secure your ends. Okay? Okay, round 45. This is the last round of part 2. So we're going to join with a standing single crochet in the 3rd stitch before any cluster group. So obviously this is where the cluster group starts, so 1, 2, 3 in there. I'll skip the next 2 stitches and then front post double around the next stitch, which is the first cluster. We're then going to make 5 double crochet in the next chain 3 space. Two, 3, 4 and 5. Front post triple around the next stitch. Okay, so what we're doing there is forming a point, so that's why that one's slightly higher. And 5 double crochet in the next chain 3 space. That's 3, 4 and 5. Front post double around the next stitch. That's our last cluster. We're then going to skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in 10. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I'm going to make 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And then another 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So you will have 2 single crochet left before that cluster group starts. Okay, so you've got front post double, 5 double, front post treble, 5 double, front post treble. You're going to skip 2 stitches either side, and you've then got 10 single crochet, 2 in the next stitch, and then another 10 single crochet. Okay, so go ahead, finish that up 12 times, join to the standing single crochet, fasten off, secure your ends, work all of your ends away, and that is part 2 finished. So I will see you next time for part 3.